Yeah. Live. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to the first live edition of Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. Please, if you have not subscribed, do so. And if you like the whole going live thing, hit the like button, thumbs up, whatever. Okay, so I literally just ran in here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue talking about Warden Michey Ray. I was actually going to do like questions and comments and take questions and whatever. Maybe I still will if I can see some. But here I am. Okay. I left off last night where me and Dusty assaulted somebody in the chow hall at Leavenworth. And it was actually December 6th of 2000. After assaulting the person, brought into the lieutenant's office. And at the lieutenant's office, there is a guy that looked like President Jimmy Carter in his youth. Well, in his 50s anyway. Youth. I'm in my 50s now. That you should wait for people to join. Okay, I hear you. Okay, I can't look at that. Okay, so they thought that the assault was a dirty white boy hit. I was not patched up dirty white boy at the time at all. I was running with them. They were my friends. Didn't want to join a gang. I made a comment like, "Who the fuck are you?" to this person who was the warden. I actually said that, and he then told me that he was a new warden. His name was Michey Ray. He rips my shirt open. My hands are cuffed behind my back. Rips my shirt open, and was looking for a tattoo. And I almost tried to like headbutt him, and staff kind of like wrestled me and stuff like that. Anyway, go to the shoe, get convicted of the assault, and Michey Ray had us placed on an 18-month shoe program. Several times during my incarceration, Bureau prison officials would come up with the idea to lock guys down, people that they considered disruptive, lock them down for 18 months and then ship them. Well, the same thing always happens. It causes a clog. Everything gets jammed up, and eventually they do away with it. So every week Michey Ray came around. Every Wednesday, staff does rounds in the shoe. So Dusty and I were cellies. We would see Michey Ray. We would straighten up our cell and be like respectful for executive staff most of the time. And then there's times that I would just, if I was drunk, I would just keep drinking and just screw it. But we'd always have some smart ass thing to say to Michey Ray. We clowned him. He clowned us. He was the kind of warden that talks shit. What are you two MF losers doing? Like he'd cuss you in a second. Real quick, if you guys have heard some of these stories, I've written these stories, and in some of my videos, I brought pieces of this up relating to different issues. So I'm just going to stick with the whole Michey Ray thing, okay? So anyway, Dusty and I, we're grooving. We're doing our thing. Got a routine down in the shoe. Everything's wonderful. The shoe at Leavenworth, they let you drink whatever you wanted, as much as you can make. It was awesome. The first thing that happens that ruffles Michey Ray's feathers is a bunch of us get in a fight with the SORT team. That is a bunch of dirty white boys. I was what's considered an affiliate at that point. And out of all the cells that were extracted, so the SORT teams, Special Operation Resort Task or Resort Team, they're the guys dressed like Ninja Turtles and then rush into cell and pull the guys out or hog time or whatever. So 8 cells, 16 guys held their food trays, caused a bunch of commotion, and ended up having cell extractions. Out of the 16 people or 8 cells, Dusty and I were the only ones that actually injured an officer. Dusty did it. I didn't do it, but Dusty did. So when an officer gets injured, you're on the shit list. So Michey Ray comes around after we are put in ambulatory restraints for a few days. Comes around, talks his shit, says that we shouldn't be in the cell together. He has to have us moved. Well, he didn't. A couple weeks go by. He comes around. and he hears that we were flooding the tiers. And it's true. Dusty and I did flood. If we were upstairs and you were downstairs 5 cells over, I can make a line and actually flood your cell out by itself. So we got good at flooding. And I know guys in prison, you hate those people that flood the tier, right? I mean, yeah. So we did it. We started doing it because we wanted drugs. If we were locked down, there's no orderlies out. We'd cause a flood, so they'd bring orderlies out. The orderlies can go run around the tier and go get drugs for us. That's really what we started doing. So Michey Ray gets wind that me and Dusty are flooding. He comes upstairs, talks shit, says, we know it's you two, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I want you to move. And he tells the range officer that he wants us moved by the end of the day. That did not happen. A couple more weeks goes by. Staff's doing rounds, and Michey Ray comes to the door, and we're drinking. We got a bunch of hooch in the toilet, sitting on the toilet cooling off. We got cups, we got cigarettes, and Michey Ray blows a gasket. He makes the cops separate us right then and there. Now, what they did was they moved Dusty next door, so we lived right next to each other. It took Michey Ray about another, let's just say 2 weeks to figure out that they left me and Dusty on the same range. And it was actually the 4th of July. One day he came around, or the day before the 4th of July. I want to say it was like July the 3rd, and 4th of July fell on like a Thursday. I don't know, but that's what it felt like. He was walking by himself. I had a boombox, a little baby boombox in the window. Not supposed to have radios in the shoe. I had a couple gallons, maybe even up to 3 in my toilet of wine, hooch, smoking cigarette. And I was pacing back and forth, just like, yeah, singing and dancing, having a good old time. I used to love just to get smashed, smoke cigarettes, think about the streets, whatever I was doing. I go to the back of the cell. I'm pacing. I turn. Boom, there's Michey Ray in the window. He said something. I said, what's up, Michey Ray? I went and I blew some smoke into the window, like blowing it in his face. Drank the cup, leaned on the door and drank the cup. So what's going on, bud? I ain't your bud, you sorry motherfucker, you piece of shit. What you doing? I'm going to have you written a shot, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay, so a little while later, here comes a lieutenant. He comes to the door and says, Russell, we have to move you. I said, I'm not moving. I said, go ahead, get the SORT team and suit up. I'm drinking. I'm not moving. And he said, look, Michey Ray is making us move you, but I'll promise you this. We will not touch your radio, your tobacco, or your booze. If you pack your shit up, won't even handcuff you, we're going to walk you downstairs to a cell. Well, this lieutenant you can trust. Can't always trust him. Just in case, I slammed a few more cups, so I was drunk, not just buzzed anymore. And I went ahead, and sure enough, they let me walk my cell, my bag, all my stuff right downstairs. They put me on the range. This is kind of a sidebar. It's going a little bit of a different direction. I was going to do a video about this one day. They put me on the range with all Muslims. I was the only white guy, and it was a fuck you because they wouldn't let me wreck with anybody. No dirty white boys, no white guys, nobody. I couldn't wreck with nobody. The only advantage it had is none of the Muslims drank, and they all got 10 sugars or more per tray. So they worked out a deal with me that if I played oldies every night at 5 o'clock, they wanted rap. Somebody wanted rap, but I wouldn't go for it. We agreed on oldies. They would all give me their sugar. So basically, they were keeping me drunk in exchange for oldies for an hour to 2, which I like anyway. So it worked out great. Now, this takes off from the Michey Ray thing. I'm sorry. But here's what happened in that. And this was going to be a video by itself. So one night I'm drunk. I'm actually really smashed. And there was a black guy, and he was talking about meat, killing cows and pigs, and how cows and pigs get fear in them before they die. Therefore, if you eat the meat, you have fear in you. This was what he was saying. And I know there's some people out there that know exactly what I'm talking about, who are either were in prison and heard this stuff, or who know about it in the African American community. I've heard a lot of this talk before. I weighed in. I said something. I forgot what it was, but I ended up saying, "Hey, man, I seen God. I met God," is what I said. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I was in B lower, up in cell 263, and God came to my cell, and he was white, and it was like, you can hear a pin drop." And then I said, and then the next day, God came back to my cell 263, and he talked to me. This time he was black. But you know what? Both times God cost $50 because God lives in a binky and he is heroin. I laughed, kicked on the door. Woo, yeah. Nobody laughed. Wasn't funny. It seemed funny and appropriate at the time, but needless to say, they all stopped sending me sugar, and I lost my black friends over that comment. And really, I was just clowning. Like, I didn't even, that's not how I feel. Really, that's like a whole different thing. Let me get back to Michey Ray. I'm sorry. I know. First live interview. I had something else set up. I'm rambling. I get it. I'm going to get the comments. Okay. So here we are in the shoe. 11 months. We're supposed to be in the shoe 18 months. Door pops open. Rosso, Michey Ray wants to see you. I'll never forget. They brought me to where you get your property in the shoe, in a little area. So usually inmates on one side with the glass partition, like on a visit, and then you can point out and get your property. That's how they did it at Leavenworth. Michey Ray sits down and he says, they got me handcuffed behind my back, excuse me. Shuts the door. He says, "Listen here, you sorry son of a bitch. I'm going to tell you something right now." He said, "I'm getting ready to let you out. You're getting out tomorrow. But don't think it's because I want you out. The truth is," and I'm paraphrasing, but this is damn close. And if you read any of my writings about this, Warden Michey Ray, you'll see. He said, and hold your ears, I won't say the whole word. "I've got 400 DC N-words hitting this compound this week. The Regent's fucking me by sending them here. And they like to fuck, fight, steal, and rape boys." That's what he said about DC black prisoners. Straight up. And I need knuckleheads out here that will help balance the compound, is basically what it was. So they wanted to let more whites out, and the ignorant ones, that didn't give a fuck, really. Like I'll say always, I was never a tough guy. But I was reckless, stupid, whatever. And he said, "And I hope you get killed." This is what this guy told me. And he looked me straight in the face. And let me tell you something, you son of a bitch. I hope that you get killed. I hope one of them N-words kills you. I said, I love you too. I mean, that's how I talk back to him. Okay, so sure enough, they let me, Dusty, and some other DWBs and some other white guys out, and all the DC dudes came, and actually I got along great with them. I didn't do the boy thing. Most of them got high, except the religious, the DC Muslims. They like to drink, they like to get high, so we got along great. They had problems with other blacks. Okay, now I got to skip a little bit further. Michey Ray left. Prior to him leaving, I got into a fight. I assaulted somebody. I got into a fight, and I just got I won. I did a story with Chad Marks about that fight, a guy named Big Jerry. They were transferring me to Marion Radio X. They had my paperwork being processed to go there because they had so many dirties. That was my second or third violence, and that one was with the weapon, a razor, sardine can lid, and I cut him up. So I was on my way to ADX. Michey Ray leaves, but he leaves AWBZ behind. BZ is doing a round one day. You guys, I'm gonna look in just a second. I don't have my glasses, so I can read some of these. Waiting on H-Team, waiting you on H-Team. Hi from Southwest. Sorry. So Michey Ray leaves. Here comes a new warden. The guy's name is Warden Connor. Warden Connor walks up. How are you doing today, sir? And I said, not too good. I said, hey, listen, who's running this prison? Is it you or Michey Ray? He's like, well, I'm the new warden here. And I go, well, that's not what that guy right there said, BZ, the other AW. He said Michey Ray's still running this prison. And he actually told me that. Michey Ray's still running this prison. And as a matter of fact, I'm in for ADX right now, or Marion. And sir, I just want back on the compound. And BZ is like red, and he says, I'll talk to you about Rosso later, Ward. He goes, wait a minute. What are you going to ADX or Marion for? I said, I got into a fight, and during the fight, I cut somebody. I had a sardine can lid. He asked me if I ever stabbed anybody, hurt anybody before. I said, I got into a fight. Told him I had a history of drug abuse. And he said, if I let you back onto this compound, do you promise to be good? Sure I do, sir. I promise to be good. And BZ is just flipping in the back. Like, you know, and he knows, like, even when Connor walked away, I went to BZ, you know, like, God, you motherfucker. Okay, so Michey Ray's gone. BZ is still there. Got a new warden. Dirty white boys and the arms. I did a video about it. Get into this big thing. All the dirty white boys get locked up. And we kept hitting our home. Now I'm a dirty white boy when I'm speaking this time. And we kept hitting our home. We're all locked down. We're in building 63. And we were acting foolish. Flooded, fires. Yeah, I know, fires. That's like the stupidest thing you can do, right? It's like, you ever see like fires in prison? You're like, what are these idiots doing? Yeah, I did it. I did it one time. It was fucking stupid. It's retarded. So we were, what else do we do? We threw the feces incident with that one officer I did a video about, Reed. It was every week there was an assault in our cell. There was something that all the staff had to be aware of or come in or whatever. One night we got shit-faced drunk, as most nights, and we're completely hungover. It's over 100 degrees in the morning, dead of summer, no heat or air. And the light comes on. It's like 10 o'clock, and we used to like to sleep in because the morning, that was like the coolest time because it's a brick building. And it's all of a sudden, I hear, get up, you sorry son of a bitches, get the fuck up. And it's Michey Ray. Michey Ray was now the regional director of the Northeastern Regional Director. And here he is at Leavenworth, kicking on our cell door. And he said, I'm going to tell you like I'm going to tell you other idiots next door. I'm a regional director now, and I'm taking you with me. I'm taking you. I got you. Rosso, Burris, and he named a couple other guys. You're going with me. I got a place for you. We didn't know that they just opened up this, or were getting ready to open up the SMU program, Special Management Unit, which you're just confined. You guys, people that watch this channel, I'm pretty sure know what the SMU program is. That's for repeated fuck ups. Michey Ray was going to be in charge of the first SMU in the Bureau of Prisons at that time, the new program that they were implementing, and it was predominantly for gang members. What they did was they had a warden to warden transfer with me, five of my guys. Dusty ended up going to a different prison because he had a separation. I did a video about that. And we went to Lewisburg, from Leavenworth to Lewisburg, because Michey Ray was the regional director over that prison. He came to the prison one day, and it was in January. I'd only been out a couple weeks, January of 2003, and was talking his shit like you usually did. I got that program. It's going to open up, and it's got your name written on it. You're going to go over there. And I said, okay. I said, Michey Ray, will you send me to an FCI? FCI, lower security prison. He's like, do what? And I said, will you send me to an FCI if I behave? He goes, you can't behave. I said, if I do 18 months clear conduct, will you send me to Forest City, Arkansas, so I can be closer to my parents? And he said, Ross, let me tell you something. If you do 18 months clear conduct, I'll send you to Schuylkill or someplace, an FCI in my region. You do 18 months clean conduct there, I'll send you to Forest City. But we shouldn't even be talking about this. You can't do 18 months. Not even a month later, I assaulted somebody, and he came back. Like, I don't know why he went to Lewisburg so much. He came right back and he laughed. I told you couldn't. Oh, I was in the hole. I told you couldn't stay out of no trouble. 18 months, my ass. I said, hey, I'm going to write you a letter. When this is up, does my 18 months start over if I behave? And he just laughed and went on. Well, he came back a couple months later, and I said, hey, that 18 months, is it on? He said, yes. Now, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And as I said in that video as well, what happens is, hey, what's up, Nashville? I just saw that real quick. I need glasses, live and direct from the UK. Okay. It comes from Cabal, not the Black. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Adam, I got you, bro. Loving the content. I appreciate that. Glad to see you put on live, bro. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do them all. I think we'll see. My wife's going to be yelling. Don't say that. Don't promise. Okay, so listen. So I was urinating blood for more than 9 months, and I couldn't get medical to do anything. I was having a tough time. Michey Ray came, and for all the stuff he'll if he tells you what he's going to do, he's going to do it. Like if he says, I'll get this done, he'll do it. Or he did. Well, I brought him my urine sample in a honey bear bottle, showed him what's up, and he got me sent outside with the quickness to the hospital with quickness. And because of him, he probably got me out in time where it didn't enter my bladder wall and spread. So I'll give him that. Drew, awesome channel, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, Drew. Okay, so here's what went down. After that, Michey Ray came back. I told him I had cancer, and I thanked him and all that stuff. And, he kind of nodded, and then he started talking about that he heard I was a shot caller now, and he was kind of like, clowning me, talking shit. And I said, I don't know where you heard I'm a shot caller. I wasn't in that position with our gang. And I said, I don't know where you heard that, but I'm all about 18 months clear conduct. And really, I wanted to go to Forest City. I really did. I didn't think I'd end up getting there, but I kind of wanted to. I did stop getting high during that time. When I found out I had seething cancer, I didn't use drugs that was the first time I tried to go clean, and it was almost 2 years or more than 2. The first time was 26 months, I think, before I started getting high again. Okay, so the next time I see Michey Ray, I just want to make sure, that's why I'm it was the next time. I had 19 months clear conduct in. 19 months. I'm working in laundry. Well, I was sitting in laundry for a few hours a day. I was sitting in laundry, and my boss comes up to me and says, Rosso, the regional director wants you up on the red top. Laundry's downstairs. Red top is the hallway at Lewisburg. And I'm like, oh, shit, are you serious? Oh, man, this dude's going to send me to an FCI. I go upstairs, and I really believe that. I go upstairs, and I look, and there's nobody. Then I see this crowd of suits coming down the hallway. And I hear, don't you go nowhere, Rosso. Don't you go nowhere. So I was like, oh. So I started walking towards them. One of the lieutenants says, hey, kind of hold back, whatever. Here comes Michey Ray, and he's got a whole entourage with him. He's the center of attention. And he said, let me tell you something here, Rosso. I'm retiring. They're making me retire. But don't think that I'm gone, because I'm not. Matter of fact, Beezy's got you. I put an order in. He actually said order. That's why I just kind of chuckled at the word. I put an order in. You're going to Beezy's prison. Well, I did not know that Beezy was opening Big Sandy. And anybody that was opening Big Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was his first prison as a warden. That's when he got his wardenship. So maybe I would have met Chad Marks had I gone back then. But so he's telling me how he's going to keep his foot on my neck and blah, blah, blah. And I look at him, and I'm like starting to feel crushed, because I'm like, oh man, this guy's not going to like honor our agreement of my 18 months. And when he was done, I said, what about the FCI? He's like, FCI? I said, yeah. I said, Michey Ray, we've talked about it. You told me if I did 18 months clear conduct that you'd send me to an FCI in your region, then to Forest City. He says, and you've done 18 months? And I said, I've got 19 months right now. And he said, and I said that? I said I'd send you. And I said, you sure the fuck did? Now I cussed. And he said, guess what? I fucking lied. Oh, man, it was like, oh, and they all laughed. I was sick. This isn't the end of the story. That was 2004. About 2 years later, I'm living in F Unit, sub 207 with Billy Bruce. Where are you, Billy? You up here tonight? What's up, brother? What's up, Jason? All right, man. The sit down. Okay. All right, Jeff. About 2 years later, I come back. I used to play a lot of handball. Come back. I'm tired. You guys are playing handball in prison. Get it? Hot. Lewisburg, summer, sun. Beat. Dehydrated. Need some water. Go up the stairs slowly in my unit, and I hear. Obviously, I knew right away that somebody was in my cell, that staff was in my cell, crushing my store. I like knew what it was. I walk upstairs, and here's Warden Joseph Smith, not the prophet, but Joseph Smith. Or was Smith supposed to be a prophet? I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? Okay, so Smith said, come here. Got me up against the wall, made me spread him. He shook me down. I had on a pair of shorts and a shirt, sweating. He didn't want to touch me too much. He wasn't really trying to do a shakedown. Dusty was next to me. He did Dusty. Dusty went us up. And he said, listen, I want you to behave. Take it like a man. I think he said, take it like a man. Was that the one? And I'm like, what's going on? He walked over, he said, hold on. He walked over my cell, I said something, out come two officers, got the gloves on. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Tells me to come over, go to my cell. My entire cell, my entire floor, more than $1,000 worth of commissary. Now, you're not supposed to run stores in prison. I didn't just run it. I didn't run a store. I ran like a Walmart supercenter for prison. And I had it like wide open on blast, like neon sign kind of thing. Cookies all over the walls, shelves, and it was too much. And they had got it and smashed it. It took everything and smashed it with boots. They even grabbed Coke, sodas. The whole back of my wall up to about my shoulders was cases of sodas. They took sodas, they opened them and dumped them. Like real malicious type of fucking evil shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, Michey Ray told me to tell you hello. Hey, I was like dumbfounded. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? That dude's been retired for 2. That sick bastard is thinking about me on the street right now. Like I got into his head that much. Man, all I ever did was assault somebody in the chow hall and talk a little bit of shit to him when he ripped my shirt open. Well, it's not all I did, but I did. I taunted him. I did. So, yeah. But this guy, and I know there's guys that have heard this story before because some of you follow my writing. Oh, Sneaky Pete's little Bobby Nelson. You're right, Sneaky Pete's story. Sneaky Pete was a correctional officer. Okay, so I got that wrapped up, you guys. Yeah, fuck me. So he got me. He got me good. But that was pretty much the last of Michey Ray. I did get when I wrote a story about him. Who was it? One of the SIS guys. No, I was a Butner at the time. Yeah, so it was SIS Neville, I believe, pulled me up and said that they got word that Michey Ray had read that story, the whole thing about him. Anyway, hey Marta, bring me some glasses, babe. Everybody makes fun of me when I do that. Reading glasses. I need some reading glasses so I can read some of the comments.
Oh.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, anyway, I'll get comments later. Marta, da-da-da. Rosso, you the man, but keep it up. Joseph, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. Congratulations on going live. So this is what I wanted to do. This is why I originally wanted 1,000 subscribers. This is why I need you here to help me read these too. Not now, but I mean in the future. Like, remember we talked about that? Anyway, come here real quick.
Yes.
Come here, say hello.
No,
Say hi.
no, okay.
Hi. Okay. Go away. All right. Anyway, yeah, so I hate having these because I got like, I got to get like some cool reading glasses. I like the Gramps. Thank you, Pons. To Prize Michael, the Sit Down and Mafia History Podcast. How are you, sir? Thank you. I'm doing good. Love your content. Okay, you know what, you guys? So what time is it? I don't even have a clock right now. Let me see if I can find one. I've been on for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This is my first live, right? I thought about different things, what to do. Talked to my probation officer yesterday about my YouTube. I'm going to tell you guys something. So we're not talking prison stories. I'm going to talk to you guys about me right now. You guys are watching me. You guys support my channel. I don't see any bad comments yet, but there will be. But that's cool too. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more insight. I'm going to go ahead and get personal, right? So I'm choosing to do this YouTube thing and other formats. And I know most people just want to hear prison stories, right? But I feel like I want you guys to understand me better, where I'm coming from, where I've been, and what's going on. You know, I think therapeutically I need to do that. So we got a half an hour, and this is for you guys that have watched online strips without clothing, naked age, online strips without clothing, strips without clothing. What does that mean? Hey, bro, from down on the mob. With all respect, man. Oh, no, I want to read that one. I think that might be good because I think he's going to talk. Marta is absolutely. Oh, no, that's cool. Marta's beautiful. No, Marta is, hey, my wife, honest to God, like I'm proud of that. I used to be a jealous, like if somebody said that, I'd be all plexed up. It's totally different now. Like it's kind of like, it's like a trophy wife. But she can be hard on me, but whatever. But I'm so lucky to have her in my life, honest to God. In Oklahoma, what's up, bro? Drew, Time Bomb. All right, Southie 31. Can't stop, won't stop. That's a bot. Leon Swan, Southie, Time Bomb. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm trying to see. Oh, more Joey Testa. Wait, more Joey Testa and Tommy Karate. Tommy Karate and Tommy Reynolds. I promise you, I got you on that. I can do some more Joey stuff. I just don't want to come out and so you can see by the other video that I wasn't like the happiest camper with Joey. I don't want to appear to be like bitter because he put a separation on me, so that I don't want to make it, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to get something from Joey Testa. And I'm going to say this again about Joey Testa. If I was Joey Testa's kid, grandkid, relative, or whatever, that had a parent, father, uncle in prison, you couldn't do no better because he really cares about his family. Like he's really in tune to them. Like, like he's really, really like, he's serious about it, So he's in that way. Yeah. He's like really good. As a federal, he's not a convict, and he's not a convict. He's 100% inmate. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some people, especially when you get older, man, guys that have been in prison a long time, some of them are like guys even that have like a lot of lifers, turn rat in prison. I think they start identifying closely with staff. Something happens, especially when they get old. It's really weird. Okay, so I'm gonna go do some personal stuff. Okay, and then I will do Robert Ross. So I've watched all your videos and I'm a big supporter of your channel, bro. Question: it seems you hesitant to join a gang for a long time. What finally changed your mind? Man, so I'm like torn. I'm indecisive about everything. So like I want to read these comments, but I was going to tell you my personal shit. But do does people care? Okay, the gang question. Let me go ahead and answer the gang question. Let's try this. Try something new. Thank you about Marta on this one, Joseph. Yeah, I didn't want to join a gang because I never wanted to be. I can do lone time very good in prison, and I don't like to be around like a bunch of people all the time. It was like a pure pressure, really. Like I'm not even ashamed to say that. Like I was kind of pure pressured into by my friends, all drunk. What are you gonna do with your time, brother? Come on, Russell. Are you for us or against us? It's not like if I would have said no, like I couldn't have hung out with the boys no more. It was just I just lost my like that day. I thought for the first time I'm never getting out of prison. I just lost my second appeal, I'll call it, the one that the one like there's very little after that, and so I was psychologically fucked, and then it was just the whole thing, and I loved Kenny to death. That was the guy who was calling shots. He can be a jackass, but I loved Kenny to death, and Dusty was my ace deuce, and that's why I decided. But I didn't like a lot of them. I really actually didn't like the ones that were there, like 4 or 5 of them. Well, no, 3 maybe. So that's why. And it was like nonstop drama. Like right when I got my patch, everything sucked. It was better just hanging out. But of course, Lewisburg. So let me talk about shot caller thing, okay? Because I always want to be clear now. You'll hear me say sometimes I was the de facto shot caller, meaning nobody put me in. Nobody sat down and say Rob's a shot caller. Rob. It went like this. Hey, bro, they want somebody to go down to the lieutenant's office once a month because we have to have that. Hey, Rob, you got a life sentence, bro. And we trust you. Which made me feel good because they trusted me, right? I'm not going to say what it is, but I've taken a psychological profile, and the type of personality that I have is not one that wants to be out in front. It's more in the background. I don't want to say it because it sounds like mastermind. That's what it comes out. That doesn't mean you're some great thinker. That's what it is. So mastermind wants to sit in the back. So I like to plot, but I like to put somebody out in front. I think all gang leaders should do that. But yeah, so that was really good times when you have a bunch of guys under you that will do anything you want. It's intoxicating, right? So that was cool. That was real good times. But it fell apart in the end. I started falling apart. Cancer. I thought I was really dying at times. I started getting high again. I lost another, so I had another appeal. I fell apart because of another appeal. That's right. And I never dropped out. I never dropped out. I never put retired over my patch for medical reasons, which you could do. I just was in prisons that there wasn't. I've only been around 3 other bros since 2007. At the hospital, I didn't like. There was some guys that were FCI dirty white boys. I didn't care for them. One of them got a patch by buying ice creams at a low. That's the truth. That's not dissing dirty white boys. I can tell you worse about some other gangs that had to run laps to get a patch. Jog. Yeah, jog till you threw up, then you got a patch. True shit. I'm not going to say the gang because I don't want to disrespect them, but I think it's just the shot caller maybe. And actually they're pretty serious gang in their state system. Anyway, so yeah, I wasn't never really a gang person. I should have, that is. But I care a lot about some of them. I've got a lot of them that are contacting me, and I think that they would, you're snitching on YouTube, and guys will say that, whatever. All the opposite. They've been getting a hold of me and say, man, love you, brother. Fuck, I heard you doing this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it's been all the opposite, and I'm not trying to be a part of nothing. But I got respect. Honestly, I got respect for prison gangs in general, whatever, just because I've lived that, you know what I mean? You don't just throw it away. I can say that it's wrong to kids and stuff and tell people that just go to prison. You don't want to get involved in a gang. And even that independent crap nowadays is a gang. So that's a whole different issue. Let me see. You guys are around the take the heat. Keep fall guy around, take the heat, and do the time for you. Well, kind of. Hi, Jake. What's up, man? Smash the like button. Glad I caught this. Chill, man. What up there? Tell us your personal stuff. Okay, personal stuff. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stop reading for a second. Full disclosure, guys. Okay. Got out of prison. I was spit out of prison. It was, I stopped expecting that I was going to get out on compassionate release. Boom, I'm out of prison. You know, it was crazy. Never been on the internet. Somebody that Martin knew, somebody that owned a taxi cab company. She befriended this lady and her husband. This guy picked me up. That's the video you guys see. His name was Steve. Awesome guy. Brought me to get pizza. Got a beer the first night, and I didn't he didn't ask, and I didn't say no. No, I'm going to tell you, I started drinking before I got out of prison. I hadn't drank in a long time. You know, I've battled with drugs in and out of prison. Suboxone was really the last one I battled. But I didn't expect drink, and neither did my wife. So Marta's always been worried about, Marta's never been around people that use drugs or any criminals, like at all. She's like a square. And I say that with big respect. And like, I'm glad that I have that in my life. I need that. But I have not stopped drinking. I'm not like sauced. I'm not drinking every day. It's the point like that I even drink a beer at dinner with a family. Even that bothers her. It bothers her inside. And I haven't been able to like fully let that go. So that's maybe, you know, that's keeping the fire burning. I'm here to say, I've got the demons right here. I'm being straight up. People like have said on this channel, oh, you're high, you're scratching, you're dead. No. But my demons are here. Straight up. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. So as part of my probation, I was ordered to go to counseling for 4 months. I chose to stick with it. I'm going because I want to, and I used to think I maybe would feel weak to admit that. No. Okay. So I got out of prison, have a righteous friend that was with me when I got life. Brent is his name. Very successful. He took drugs. He didn't stop dealing drugs. He didn't stop the drug dealer mentality. He just switched the product. He's doing phenomenal right now in life. He changed his life because he saw what happened to me. Then that makes me feel really good. He also wasn't going to tell on somebody. So he knew that if he got hit again, he would probably get life, be in the same boat I did. Again, I got life just because I chose not to tell, which is a personal choice. And, I have a prison consulting company. So I would advise people on how I believe that they are. Like if I'm talking to somebody and I can kind of get a judge of their character, they're weak or something, then of course I'm going to say cooperate. That's part of a legal business. You have to represent somebody the best, right? So I look at my life right now, not as a criminal no more, as a citizen. City council meetings, all that. I missed the last one actually, but yeah, all that. Okay, anyway, got out of prison. So that was, Marta was still in Spain. She couldn't come for the first 4 months. My dad had, I still don't know the disease. It's horrible disease. Look up whatever Dudley Moore had. It's like worse than Parkinson's, and it's your motor skills go, your eyes bug out. He didn't even look like a caricature of my dad, but I'm glad I got to spend some time with him. The situation I went home to, I was at the farm. The farm was my mom and dad's. My mom and dad had trouble financially. They never knew how to invest, and they had a son that cost a lot in prison, another daughter who's had problems that they've taken care of, and my mom likes to just shop. And so they got into financial ruin. So they sold the farm to my youngest sister, who's a couple years older than me. I'm the youngest, 4 kids, spoiled, rotten baby boy. Okay. Sister, a couple years older than me, very successful in life, something to be proud of, got the farm, bought it from them, and everything else that they owned. So there, there was no will. That was okay. Nobody expected me to get out. After so many years of saying, this is going to be the one, this case changed. I'm pretty sure everybody started like not believing it, including my wife. And I'm going to say real quick, if I wouldn't have got out, I don't believe me and Marta be together right now. We couldn't have took COVID. It was too much. It was getting to be too much. It was too much on both of us. It was too hard on both of us. Really, it was to the point where it was getting miserable. So lucky there, right? Because I got out, my sister and brother-in-law made a decision to give me some property of the family property. So this is a small town in Arkansas. Like a couple of years ago, even the house, so they gave me some lots, some land, and there's a house that's like 1,300 square foot, 2-bedroom brick house that I rent out. Okay. So, put it in perspective, because so people understand, little small town, you can call it Hicktown, and I don't say that disrespectful. I mean, I say that proudly, kind of small little rural redneck town, whatever you want to say. Property, it's crazy right now. If I had to put it on paper, like what I have property wise, 150, 160, but I have no money. Okay. So, stayed up at the farm. My oldest daughter, who married a guy who is biracial. That's not the problem. He was a cop too. Well, one of many things. He was a cop. Arrogant prick. Lived right down the hill on the farm, also the gatehouse, I guess you call it. And she made a video when she found out I was getting out, and she was bobbing. So my daughter's white. My son-in-law looks Puerto Rican, but it's like if you were to talk to him, like he's white and she thinks she's black and he thinks she's white. They're like mixed up. They got some really cute kids, I'll say that. So I only saw her a couple times. She came to visit me. I only saw my 2 oldest grandkids. So I started visiting them. I started trying to, I didn't care that she made a video that was pretty degrading towards me. I don't know why she did it to this day, but it was real bullshit. But I forgave her. Look what I did to her life. I hurt my kids bad. They were there during my bust. My bust was horrible. It was a traumatic bust with me getting my head slammed in the car door, talking shit to cops, grandma going to jail. I mean, just it was horrible. It was horrible. And they were 9, 6, and 3. So my kid, she definitely had dad issues, growing up. I tried everything I could to make that relationship work. I loved spending time with my grandkids, even though they're little nightmares. Like they're very manipulative. I miss them. They moved. Okay. They're gone. They up and left. And there was a big fight before they did. And I haven't talked to her since. And you know what hurts me the most? Is that I'm okay with that. Think about what I just said. Okay, there's that issue. So my mom and my dad ended up moving to the house my daughter was living in, which was the gatehouse of the farm. I'm pausing and I'm watching my words because this is a real. I'm getting very personal, you guys. I'm getting. When my mom and dad sold my sister and brother-in-law everything, the deal was that my mom and dad were supposed to live in the house until they died, and that house was anything but their house. I'm not blaming my sister. I'm like, at first I did, but then I looked at the situation and I don't envy the position they were in at all. Anyway, my mom and dad ended up moving down to the little house. And this is a guy who, my dad was a person who worked all his life for that farm. Like all he ever wanted to do was die on that farm. Beautiful farm. The view is just, if anybody can go to my Facebook page, it's public. It's like the first video I ever did. Look at that. I'm in a golf cart. Look at that scenery in the back. It's just this place where I'm at. I live in a beautiful, beautiful place. Okay. So, mom and dad moved down to the little house. And it was hard listening to my dad complain a lot. Like he complained a lot about the living situation and about my sister and brother-in-law, but I never like wanted to hear that. Like all I kept telling everybody, and I say everybody because my two other sisters would always they blame my sister did this. They should be doing this for mom and dad. They should be. And I kept telling my sisters, please listen, you guys stop living in the past. Stop living in the past. It's over. Whatever happened, and whatever agreement they had, it doesn't matter. Let's just move forward. And nobody can get out of the past. So I was trying to give everybody the benefit. I was trying to be in the middle because I'm free. I'm supposed to die in that fucking place. So what else should really matter to me? You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to do that. During this time, Marta's still not there, and I'm drinking more. And I can drink. When I drink, I can drink a lot. If I do, and I don't get, so it's one of these things where I'm not fooling myself. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this because it worries people that I know, because you won't even know, like, I had a drink, and like I can drink like a fifth of Jack. No, seriously. But not all that's so relaxed. It's not like all the time. I'm just saying at that time I started drinking more, and then I know what was up. I never realized I had anxiety. I never realized that I had the issues that I do on, like, first of all, I've been in prison all my life. Technology, I've never been on the internet. I still get like crazy anxiety when I pick up the phone sometimes. I adjusted really well in the beginning to society. In the beginning, it was like cakewalk. Pretty much most of the time. And I just kept waiting for more. Now, with the property that I was given, I went to the bank, a small bank. Always go to a small bank. Remember this, people. And I went and said, hey, listen, I have no money, but I've got property, and I don't want a loan. I want to build a business relationship with you. And I meant that. And to this day, like, I'll stick with those people forever. They gave me a loan to buy a new house, the house that we live in. That's why you guys see the paneling. That's the reason you see the paneling, because I don't have money to fix it up yet. Marta saves well, and the agreement we always had was I want her to keep her money there. She got a good job when she got here. I had her quit recently, but this is, I have a holding company, real estate holding company is what I call it. And this is my deal, like financial, this is mine. Like, she'll get a place in Barcelona for us when I have to do probation time. That's what we want to do, is ideally spend half and half. If we can get it worked out, spend 6 months here and 6 months there. That's down the road. We're talking, I'm 52, I'll be 53 in November. So I'm talking, like 56, 57, some 5 years. So anyway, where am I? So what I'm trying to think of the other problems. Like, so I knew about my daughter, my mom and dad, seeing my dad like that. It was really tough going up there. He was also wheelchair bound, so it was hard to move around. He liked to go to restaurants, but he choked, and it's like the whole restaurant was like sick to their stomach but he wanted to go, and it was hard. I wasn't embarrassed. I was just, I was like a wreck when I went with them. Like, I was nervous and stuff, and that was hard. And I started, you know, trying to get to know my dad. He had moments when he was good, but most of the time, you know, the disease had him. And he got like old men get really crazy, sick, horny. And he was real. So he had caretakers and he was like on females like nuts. And he was also very rude. One of the caretakers had a small arm, like one of those deformed, I forgot what they call it. And he's like, "Hey, don't let that little deformed thing you got there touch me." It's like the shit that came out, he was unfiltered, you know? And he would like say, "Hey, you're fat," like tell girls. And man, it was, you know, "Your hair looks ugly," which, you know, in a couple of years, you're good looking now, but in a couple of years, you're going to be terrible. It's like, oh my God. Okay. So I'm kind of caught because, so Marta came, that was, so you guys tell me, I can't see your comment. Okay. So I don't know if some of you guys, to live in a beautiful place, you paid your dues. Thank you. Have a good night. Good to see you live. 49. Hang in there, Robert. Really appreciate your candor. Okay. So I didn't know if people are like, "Hey, get the fuck off." I'm just going for it now. My PO actually said I should go on and start telling, just kind of give behind the scenes. So here's one of the things with me and Marta. I felt like we've always been together. Is that good or bad? She does too. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We couldn't do like more than a weekend honeymoon. But after the honeymoon, we've been here and we haven't really done much. We were together for so long, so we know a lot about each other, but there's things now that come out. Like, she was used to me, like, always being there for her. Like, anytime she was down, like, I was there to pick her up. It was easy. I'm on a prison phone. Even when I'm kind of down in prison, something's going on, I can kind of fake it because I can fully focus on her. Out here, okay, so that's a good place to pick up on. So let me tell you, when I bought, so here's how this went down. Family friend, guy named Tommy, he grew up with my dad. His aunt died and left him the house that I'm in. It's actually on 4 lots. There's 2 houses. There's this brick house that I have, and there's a house next to me that was built in 1910 that's still standing. If I had money, I would like restructure that house. I've also got water issues where I'm kind of in a pit, like a swampy area, because all the runoff from the hills like goes into one of my lots and like stays there. So there's issues with that. I bought this house, was able to get this place, which came with the little house. This guy who sold this also sold me his family place on the other end of town, which was a house built in 1910, like that one, and another barn built in like 1899 or something. So there's 4 lots down there. Then I was given 1, 2, 3. So I've got like 18 lots or something, I think. So I started tearing down the old houses to keep the wood. The wood's valuable if you know where to get rid of it. I don't. So right now what I've got, and the reason I've got it like this, I was down there processing the wood. I'm going to repurpose it. So I was taking the nails out, putting it on my trailer. Marta bought me a little Nissan truck when I got out, 2000, under 100,000 miles. I love it. I'll never get rid of it. Frontier. That's what we drive. That's all we have right now. And I have a little trailer that I had that my sister, they found, like when I got busted, I bought it at Walmart or something. And I had it. I had a lot of stuff. I had 21 vehicles when I got busted. Kubota tractor and blah, 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 boat. Don't know what happened to a bunch of it. So that guy sold me all this stuff. And all of the people that lived in this house, there was a brother and 2 sisters, 3 siblings, never got married, all lived together. Weird, right? I know. And that was their family house next door where they grew up. And their mother killed herself in the house right here. So if you guys see little shadows and stuff, maybe it's them. Because I'm not a big ghost guy. I'm gonna do recordings in front of the tree where she hung herself. there was the rumors all forever that it was on the porch, but no, there was a tree. But there's a mystery behind it. She hung herself high up, and there was no really way for her to climb her ladder or a ladder or anything. So that's been like the mystery. Where did she do it? How did she do it? She killed herself because her husband died of black lung. He was a coal miner. So all their belongings came with this house. So like all their personal effects, clothes, blankets, letters, antiques. I've got a shitload of antiques. We're trying to sell stuff, especially right now. But there's a coffee shop opening up in town that they're going to do that. They're going to have like a venue where you can set up stands and sell. And I'm probably that's what I'm going to do in the morning. That's where I'm going to start answering my comments. I'm going to make sure that I answer everybody's comments. And I'm going to sit up there and I'm going to drink coffee for an hour. And that's what I'm going to do. That's coming. I think they're going to open in 2 months. Okay. So let me try to move forward here. So Martin and I, so it's been, is it good that we felt like we've been together like all our lives? Is that good or bad? Like, cause like sometimes it's like she like hit me up one day. It's like, that's not good or something. We have argued. All people do. We're only 5 months in. So she got here in August. She's put a lot into our relationship. She really took a big risk. She believed in me. She believes in me, but I know she's having a tough time because I'm having a tough time. And this is what I mean. When something's happened to me since my dad's died. Yeah. I've never in my life blamed anybody for me dealing drugs. I've never blamed my sisters for getting me high. And they all did, all three of them. I was engaged in some kind of dealing with them. They got mad at me recently. One of them got mad at me for saying, fuck that. I'm not talking to a couple of them, but now that's final. And Marta's sticking with me. There's more behind that. But something happened to me. Lots of bitterness. It started when after he died and my little nephews were posting comments, memories about my dad. And I did realize that I didn't have any because I would spent most of my life avoiding him. And I mean, from like 15 on. And I was a great disappointment to my dad. I did a video where I mentioned this and people are like, your dad loved you. I'm not saying my dad respected work ethic, period. If you weren't a worker, and I don't mean an office person, he did have an office job, but he came from the mud. He was a construction guy. If you didn't have a solid work ethic, he didn't have any respect for you. I never have. I never worked like a real job. When I got out of prison, Brent hooked me up with his nonprofit, SCAR, Saving Children and Reviving Souls, child advocacy group. I actually did some stuff with that. I had to make a choice whether I stayed there or whether I branched out on my own. And I branched out on my own by just start talking on YouTube or writing articles, which I haven't done yet. I've got actually a lot of stuff that I've got a lot of stuff that I can be doing. I'm kind of paralyzed. I'm a little paralyzed. That's just being real. People have said, don't make promises on YouTube, don't do this and not follow through. Not all the reasons. I was down for a week. I got sick real bad. Prior to that, it's up here sick. It's up here. So and I don't want like nobody to feel like bad for real. Like, I'm out. It's just, I know it's temporary, but it's like hard right now. It's like, I don't think I've ever felt or gone through in life what I'm going through now. This is 20 times harder than a life sentence or being in prison ever was. I am having anxiety that's like almost crippling. crazy, and that's not like me. I do miss the person I was in prison. All the guys that know me in prison, they see me snap. Even the guys at Terre Haute that, like I didn't really do nothing at Terre. I got in like what, two fights, but I wasn't some. Uh, I'm pretty passive, especially when I got in a relationship with Martin. I realized, I've tried to stay out of trouble as much as possible. Um, but people used to come to me with their problems to talk to me because I like listened and I cared, and I kind of like I liked it. I liked being like Dr. Rob. And they would call me that sometimes. But I was like calm, cool, and collective. I'm not. I can't make like a decision to save my life right now. Like in every aspect. And I do see worry in my wife's eyes. The girl is 36 years old. She took a hell of a gamble. And like I said, I'll tell you guys straight out. Like there was some time ago, like I said, look, I know I see your face. I see the disappointment in your face. Like, maybe you should go back to Spain. Like I said that. I don't know if she's watching or what the deal is. I'm going on, right? I'm doing counseling with you guys. And she said, no, I'm not doing that. Like, she don't care about America no more. Childhood dream to be an American, stuff like that. This girl, like, I've never had somebody love me like she loves me. And that's the truth too. I don't know how to deal with that either. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I was terrible to, I had my high school sweetheart who we like shouldn't have like had kids and stayed together like we did and all that crap. But I look back, I was like really verbally abusive to her. I would never hit her, and I was possessive, and I wouldn't let her have her own identity. She was Rob's wife, ever since we were kids. So I try to do a 360 with Marta. Like, I want Marta to have her own like friend. Like, I don't understand Spanish, but like I encourage her to go to like talk to her friends in Spain. Like, tell them everything. Tell them every little bit. I don't care. You can tell them everything negative about me or what you're feeling or whatever, because I want you to open up and have friends. And I want her to have, she's an independent person. You have to be strong to be with somebody like that. And I'm just going through some shit, that's what it really comes down to. And financially. And I'm not saying that to beg for money. Oh, real quick. Let me talk about the subscriber issue. I came out on that $29.99 subscriber thing. I haven't said nothing about it yet. How that happened was we got subscribed. We were allowed membership, and Marta watches YouTube only, but all Spanish. So I'm like, what is a membership? I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I still have not fully read everything on it, to be honest. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, well, tiers, how much are the tiers? $2. What do you get for $2? And like an emoji. I'm like, fuck that. And I'm like, what's the high? Okay, find a prison person. I think she went to Larry Lorton, and I got respect for Larry Lorton. So I don't know. I made some stupid comments about somebody talking about making knives. It wasn't about Larry per se. That was not. It was just, I was fired up. My probation officer even said, you're getting, you're losing it, and you're taking it out on the camera. And he believes in me, like, totally, for real. Strict motherfucker. But you know what? I've never ever in my life like been so grateful to have like a strict PO. The guy wouldn't hesitate to put me back in jail if I fucked up, especially because he'd be so disappointed. But anyway, that's totally, I'm getting off. Yeah. So there has been an incident. It's not like I don't want to paint a picture like it's bad. Like, it's not, it's gray a lot, but it's been because of the situation. I have a lot of family issues going on with my sisters, especially the daughter. I don't talk to my oldest daughter, and I'm totally okay with that. And yeah, that sucks, right? So yeah, I have made a decision to not talk to the one who has the farm. There's a lot of reasons for that. She is a hardcore control freak. and her pulling my strings on real estate deals have caused me and Marta a lot of problems. Marta's not an investor. Marta's a saver. Marta's afraid to invest in anything. She's afraid to spend $1. And I used to like kind of knock her for it. She's wise. I'm not. I'm an idiot. You know, when it comes to money, I'm a drug dealer still. The mentality, like I don't have respect for money. So I'm cool with her like handling our financial and bill situation, but I want my own, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so I did tell her, like I said, okay, so I told her to go back. She said she's not doing that. She's not giving up on this. But all I really want in this life, I'll say this too. I think I'm going to be successful, not necessarily just at this. You know, the channel's taken off pretty good, but there's something I can do something to blow that anytime. I'm very good at sabotaging. I have offers to write. I do have 3 books. I don't know where those are going to go. Those are white trash prison book stuff. Was going to do it out of Guerrilla Convict. The guy who's doing the editing said he didn't like my book. He doesn't like my fiction. He likes my nonfiction, and is totally disappointed in the way I wrote that book. I know other people that have read it that think it's like the best thing ever. So I'm probably going to put it out and do and sell it off the web or on this platform, however you can sell it. Twitter, I mean, or YouTube, or a Patreon or Twitch. If I go on Twitch, whatever. So I might just, you know, self-publish it. We'll see. But I'm going to make that decision real soon. Legal work. You want to hear something really sickening? So I'm not passionate about legal work. One of the guys that I work with he lives the shit. I think Chad really likes it. I did it in prison for me. And there are some things that will make my brain click, and I really want to like see the results of a case. If I don't feel like I can do a case, I won't take it. I'll take it and I'll pass it to the right people. Maybe get 500 or maybe not get $1. It just depends. I'm not going to ever take somebody's case and fuck them. I do have some connections in certain departments in the federal government. I don't think there's anybody that can do a clemency petition better than me, or that can make sure it gets read by the right people. But I can't. I can only do so many. Right before my dad died, a couple of days, I had one person that was trying to send me $17,500 for 2 different things, and asked me, you know, okay, well, we're going to send this. I couldn't even like, okay, I'll get back to you, and I didn't. And then there's a total of 4 people that wanted legal work, totaling $37,500. And all like were asking where to send the money for me to get started. And I couldn't get started because I was crippled with the shit going on with my dad. So when my dad was dying, I stayed up there every night and drank and watched him and drank. I did for about 10 days. I didn't like get drunk for 10 days, but I mean, I stayed up there for 10 days, but some nights I just sat in the room and watched him breathe, literally. I couldn't, I was incapable of doing any legal work. I still haven't. I just did last night for the first time. I stayed up till almost 4 o'clock in the morning last night. Thought I was going to stay up till midnight, stayed up till almost 4 o'clock. So I'm pretty exhausted right now. That's just strictly from doing somebody's, I was behind on it. The timeline worked out actually great, and I did a fantastic job. I was proud of it. But yeah, that's the first piece of legal work I did. I'm going to do some writing soon. I know where. I don't want to say it until I know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I would like to probably do like a talk show, like just like this. I would probably like this the best, you know. And at 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock's a little too late. I know it's probably maybe better for some of you. because then you have your whole day to like think about it. And I'd like to get that over. And like, I would even, like, I want the Rush Limbaugh hour, right? Anyway. Okay. So let me keep on going. Let me finish this up. So, I also got hit with I've had bladder cancer. I've had 23 reoccurrences. It's a lot. Okay. It's all been non-invasive, meaning it's like zits in a bladder. It's not growing inside. The last one started growing inside. And if they take my bladder out, I won't be able to have sex again, you know? And somebody made some quiet, wise comment, some fucking idiot, Sister Mustard. Anyway, yeah, so that screws with your head. Like my wife's like, who cares? I went 7, blah, blah, blah. You know, who got a vibrator? Whatever. So I'm just saying it's not, she's like, don't trip, you know? No, I'm tripping. Yeah. So I got to deal with that, and I got to do that next week. That's on me. And the house that I'm sitting in, that the panel stays and we haven't fixed yet. So the structure under it, it's eaten by termites. And there's water, maybe a natural spring under the house. So we've got issues that we have to have done right now. I can't get a loan until January. And so there's financial stress going on. And right before I came on, we were talking about some financial stuff, not arguing, stressing. And I told her I need a break. I just need like a week where you're not on me, because she's hard on me. I'm not crying like a little bitch. I'm not, I swear to God. You know what's crazy is I used to be such an ass, like I said, my first wife. I mean, I can remember like, shut up, bitch. And now I just like raised my voice to her like this week for the first time. I don't like cuss at her. That takes work because that's natural for me. Different relationship, you know, different. Don't think for a second that I'm not grateful or happy and don't want it. I'm just saying it's just so much. It's everything. This whole life out here. You know, now I'm starting to feel it. Like I went through this phase where it's like, I felt like I never even went in. It was like, oh, now I feel like I've been in prison pretty much my whole life, which I have. So that's all. It's all at one time. I was going to say started by my dad, but the first real issue when I got out, I think, was my daughter. But it's daughter, dad, and then when I said about bitterness or blaming, so there's like all these things about my dad that's come out that I started like really getting resentful towards. I didn't go to my dad's funeral. Yeah, I haven't said that to nobody. I didn't go to my dad's funeral. I had stopped talking to my sisters, not the one in California, the two here. I stopped talking to them right before that. That wasn't the factor. There was other things that I have that I would never, you know. It's just I'm just bitter and I have resentment, and you know, and I shouldn't. Like I shouldn't. There's no reason to let that happen. It's past. It's gone. He wasn't like my dad was. He wasn't like no bad dad. He. This is the deal. My dad was a very popular guy. He was a labor's union leader in this town, in this state of Arkansas, his home state. No 100 or more people would come here that were desperate for work, and he put them to work in California. He was all about work ethic. I'm telling you, that's how my dad judged everybody. But he put everybody down. Every one of my nephews or whatever, everybody has a story about how my dad hurt them, but that was grandpa, or that was uncle, or that was Bob. Like everybody has these stories. like where he called them names. Or so my nephew, for example, who my sister moved here. She got a divorce, moved her and her boys here. They lived here for 5 years. So my dad was like their dad. Their grandpa was like their dad. So he went to go tell my dad, like, Grandpa, you've been like a dad to me. I love you. He had his girlfriend with him. And my dad looks and he goes, right before he started opening up, my dad goes, huh, you got her? I always thought you were a fag. You know, and that crushed that kid. Like, he had to walk away, like, crying. It hurt him so bad because he was going to open up to my dad. And my dad just crushed him. And that's just, and so my nephew's kids, so my great nephews, they're Hispanic, you know, they're all different shades. Some of them are a little darker than the other. It's kind of a trip. But like my dad would say, you know, Trump hasn't picked you up yet. You know, what are you little wetbacks doing? You know, that stuff's mean, you know, and it can be funny. And that's what everybody's always done when my dad's done that stuff, laugh. But he hurt a lot of people. He hurt a lot of people. And yeah, so I'm just going through it. Give me your rent so I can block illegal stuff and idiots and always on here. Shrooms through me. I'm 6 million more. Hello. Hi, guy. I felt I'd feed him. Phonetic. Gutter nutter. Okay, I don't know what you're actually saying. Shit in front of Arkansas. You ain't running shit. I'm from Arkansas, so I should be mad. Wait, what is this? Wait, whoa. Let me see. Give me a rent so I can block illegal stuff and idiots. I'm always on here. You ain't running shit. I'm from Arkansas, so I should be mod or mad. Mad? You ain't running shit. I'm from whatever. Time bomb. Huh? Well, I'm not from Arkansas. I'm from California. So if that's some kind of blow, I don't really give a fuck. Okay. Anyway, so that's my personal shit. Is what it is. Just life, right? Get over it. Get past it. I'm free. I made it out. Didn't tell. Made it out. Didn't get all tattooed up. Whatever. I guess a lot of people have tattoos now. And like I said the other day, I see these guys that did like 7 years and they're walking around the streets like they're still in prison. What's that? What is that? What's that about? What's going on there? Go back to prison. If you're going to run around like thinking, just go back. Why stay out? It's not, it's harder out here than prison for sure. But I don't know. I just don't understand that. All right, guys, I rambled. Hopefully, in a perfect world, I'm going to have more structure in my life, and you guys will see that structure too. And I'll stop rambling so much. Thank you. Stayed on here for a long time. I actually like live better, and I'm probably going to just stick with live. I do believe so, unless Marta is going to buck and say something different. Peace. Hey, babe. Marta. I don't know how to close it. Hi from UK. Hello, UK. No wrenches unless. Great live. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, look it. Wait. Let me tell you. So, I appreciate everybody sticking around. All you guys. Oh, what I was going to tell you after I made that announcement about that YouTube, I was going to try to find a way to like make a bunch of people members, but I don't really know what this is. We're going to figure this out. But I'll be on here every day. I'll be on. I will have YouTube videos out 5 days a week for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow night. Please shut it off, babe. I don't know how to do it. Thank you. Okay.